Are you a Free Stater who has moved to New Hampshire? If so, please make sure you've informed the Free State Project. Make sure you count on our Made the Move counter. That counter on our website needs to keep rising. That can only happen if you officially let us know you're here. Help us counter the skeptics who say it can't be done. Show the world you've already done it. Email moved@freestateproject.org. Moved@freestateproject.org. Moved@freestateproject.org.
I'm standing here with Neil from Manchester, a Free Stater who moved to New Hampshire in '07, is that right?
Actually 2009. I've been coming up since 2006. That Pork Fest was my first time in New Hampshire.
And you came to New Hampshire for more freedom because you're a Free Stater.
Exactly, yeah. And that first time I was in New Hampshire, you know, I'm not a religious person, I'm very secular, but that Pork Fest was what I would describe as my most spiritual experience. I felt as if I was coming home for the first time. And before that, I had even decided this is the only movement that makes sense to me in terms of seeing positive change.
Movement? What do you mean? What movement?
The Free State movement. The people that have moved here to gain a better hold on activism, to exert their efforts in a single place for greater liberty or freedom or however they see fit.
And what would you say when you got here, what was the biggest thing that changed for you?
The biggest thing that changed was the sense of community, of people that you know, didn't believe I should be locked in a cage for doing things I do every day. People that respected my individual liberty and with whom I could speak on a very equal basis in that regard. I came from Florida, where I was involved in a lot of libertarian activities, UF College Libertarians, Libertarian Party back in Sarasota County, and you know, I exerted a great deal of effort there, but I didn't see all that great of returns in terms of so much of the population. We were so spread out, there were so few liberty-loving individuals that when I moved to New Hampshire, it was such a change. You know, tonight I'm here at Millie's, where we have a Voluntarius Tuesday meeting.
In Manchester? In
Manchester, New Hampshire, and there are routinely over 30 of us there. And this
is one of what, 4 different parties that happen each week in Manchester?
Oh yeah,
roughly. Yeah.
Every Friday night we'll have a cookout, although right now it's getting a little bit too cold for that. And Tap Room has their thing on Tuesdays too, but there's always something going on.
What would you say is the type of activism that you've been drawn towards as you've been here for a year or so?
You know, I was always involved in the political process when I was down in Florida. I campaigned heavily for Ron Paul, and coming up here to New Hampshire to do so as well. But you know, and so I thought, you know, one of the first things I'll do once I get to New Hampshire is register to vote. I haven't done that yet, but I certainly support those politicians that are running that, you know, do embrace liberty. I'm glad to see them win, and we had some great successes, but I'm kind of attracted to the more civil disobedience crowd. And then also journalism. Right now I'm working on getting Free Manch up and running with
freemanch.com
with a couple of friends and I here, and we want to take a very journalistic approach, very newspaper kind of oriented approach.
Do you want to do a print newspaper or just online?
Well, I have experience printing a newspaper before, but this is just going to be online, and certainly, you know, Free Keene and Free Grafton and those sites are great, and I love what they do. I just want to see something for Manchester.
What would you say would be the main difference between Free Manch, as you envision it, and Free Keene?
Free Manch will take kind of a comparatively very objective approach, very rigorous journalistic approach, to where we want to appeal to a wide audience, covering things that don't include liberty activism. But the stories that we do publish will give that side of the story. We'll give equal deference to that, and I think compared to the mainstream media today, that's that's a big jump.
Now, there have been multiple attempts to either start some kind of free manch or some liberty paper in Manchester, and a lot of different things have fallen through. Some have gotten through, but what's going to get you guys into action where the others have failed before?
Well, I think the community in Manchester is just so strong now that every Tuesday night that I go to, every Friday night party or whatever meetup, I'll routinely see someone new, someone who just moved that week, just a couple days prior. And I think the ball is really getting rolling in Manchester. And it's a great city. We've got so many great resources here and activists, yet there really isn't a central site that kind of unites them or just brings awareness to what they're doing, and that's what I want to see.
All right. Do you think of anything else that you'd like to add?
If you're out of state, I started coming up here for 4 years prior to when I moved up to finish college and to get ready to move. But even if you can't make it this year or next year or whenever, just come up here and visit and let us know about it. There are tons of people that are gonna happily let you crash on their couch, tour the state. I toured the state when I first came up, and it was one of the best experiences. So feel free to come up Liberty Forum or Pork Fest, and we'll see you here.
All right, thanks, Neil.
Thank you.
Move.freestateproject.org. Move.freestateproject.org.